All right. Hey, Horizon Summit attendees. Welcome to our next talk. I'm happy to welcome Kristen Ingram, the CEO and executive producer at Plus One Society, an event production and marketing agency focused on social justice, racial equity, servicing the sports, entertainment, and media industries. Prior to launching Plus One, Kristen was the head of affiliate marketing for the NFL Network, where she oversaw strategic partnerships, creative campaigns, and experiential events for all NFL calendar initiatives, including the Super Bowl. During her tenure at the NFL, she leveraged her leadership position to become an advocate for diversity and inclusion and social responsibility. Ultimately, her community service initiatives, which are currently still in place, were recognized by Commissioner Goodell. Inspired by the power of sports and its ability to connect cultures, provoke progressive action, Kristen launched Plus One with the intent to directly uplift and amplify social justice movements that influence positive change within culture. This week, Kristen's program, Playing for Justice, which chronicles recent visits by the Milwaukee Bucks and Sacramento Kings to local prisons in their respective communities, is airing on ESPN and the ESPN app. So definitely take a moment and check that out this week when you can. Kristen, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm going to step out of this virtual room and let you take it from here.
Thank you, Taylor. I appreciate the introduction. It's very awesome. I want to also just thank everyone at SportTechie and the 49ers for putting together this summit during this very interesting time of the virtual universe. And with that said, I want to welcome the class to Play for Justice, Corporate Responsibility and Social Impact 101. For those of you in the back of the room, my name is Kristen Ingram, and I am the CEO and founder of Plus One Society. I created Plus One with the belief that artists and athletes and businesses who profited from the community have an absolute responsibility to use their resources and platforms to support the advancement of that community. As we look toward the future, it is critical for businesses to make their values known and become accountable for their actions or inaction as it relates to equitable social impact. A tangible example of this is 49ers CAO, Hannah Gordon, ceding her time today to afford me the opportunity to share this message with you. I know you're in here, Hannah, so I just want to say hi, big ups to you, keep doing the work. So as Taylor mentioned, Plus One is an event production and marketing agency, and we focus on social justice and racial equity. Our mission is to leverage the power of sports and entertainment to uplift and amplify social justice movements. The most recent manifestation of that mission is Play for Justice. Play for Justice was created to expose policymakers and NBA teams to people directly affected by mass incarceration. Through a series of basketball games and roundtable discussions, we went inside prison facilities and engaged the Bucks, the Kings, the Lakers, and the Cavs to bring them proximate to people directly affected by this system. Through Play for Justice, we were able to highlight stories of hope and redemption and create an environment where incarcerated individuals were seen and heard. And as Taylor mentioned, The Undefeated covered a couple of these events with the Kings and the Bucks, and you can see that documentary on ESPN app. So you may be asking, what does that look like? What is Play for Justice? Which is a great question. I'm going to answer it for you. So let me show you. And if my assistant, Allison, will play the video, we'll get into it.
Young men, young women, any questions for Mike, for Robert, for Meta?
This for D Smoke. Can you do one of your spoken words?
Well, yeah, on the show I said, this one's for love, for mothers that's grieving. This for that dreamer in that class that's underachieving. This for believers whose faith is all that's keeping them breathing. This the Garden of Eden. This for all of my heathens. This one's for Inglewood, both in Chicago and Cali. This one's for Manchester and Crenshaw, for rallies. Happy moments happen to be sprinkled throughout half of these tragedies. Actually, I just start embracing change. It's safe to say that growth is an uncomfortable process, and pain is a necessary investment for progress. I stress that if ever you get ill or hurt against your will, it's just a quiz from God. This is our test. Yes. This time time is gonna be different. I'ma bless the world with honest quotes in every sentence and get better every moment, just like Beverly mentioned. Hard times, but never resentment. I stay forever relentless. Let's go.
You know, a lot of people up in here, you know, they've been down 20, 30, you know, so ain't nobody expect this.
We can spark love and compassion and show people who are currently incarcerated that they matter, that we do care, that while they're in here bettering themselves, we are out there fighting the fight.
I'm here as much as I can, me and Scott. You know what I'm saying? This isn't just a movie thing, this isn't a camera thing. You know, people that know me, they know I'm not really a big talker. I'm just more about action. So as long as you got me around, you got me as a resource.
You're not in my shoe, I'm not in your shoe. You know, it's hard for me to, you know, understand your story. But all I can do is, you know, sympathize and help as much as I can. And, you know, tell you that I love you, you're my brother. You know, I got your back. If you ever become a pastor, I'll be in the church. You know?
Giannis ain't never give up on us. That was the best coach to have to this experience. He's so humble and down to earth. You would never know he's such a big superstar that he is. Like, it was great having him, Sterling Brown, Kyle Korver coaching me.
Seeing LeBron and all the players come out, like they was just hiding, waiting for us to come.
I never got that close to anybody that's famous before. Like, everybody's gonna be thinking about this moment. Like, this moment's never gonna leave our mind.
To bring that energy, to show them that when you leave here, there's something waiting out there for you. There's people waiting out there, there's opportunities, there's love, and there's a second chance waiting for them when they come home. And I think that when we come into these places, they feel that.
I feel like I'm floating right now. This is a big, like, this is big for me. It's like a dream come true.
It opened my eyes to the fact that I'm not barricaded. I can do what I want to do in life. Even though I have my felony or being incarcerated, there's still doors that'll be open for me that I can open myself as well. I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life, so it was just awesome.
Thank you, Allison. And thank you guys. I didn't realize I was gonna be able to see comments, but keep the comments going. That's helpful. So you're out there, yay. So that video is to help make it, to actualize it for you, to make it real. So you have a visual of what we're talking about and what it looks like when a corporation takes responsibility for its community, when it's invested in social impact. And big shout out to the NBA and all the teams that participated, because we, as you can see from the video, we were changing lives, we've changed hearts, minds, policy, all the things. And so our goal was, when we started this, was to change hearts and minds, right? To get people close to the issues. We wanted to do that through humanizing incarcerated individuals through the storytelling, which is what you see now, and advancing criminal justice reform bills in key states, and inspiring players and teams to become effective advocates. So let's talk about the 3 things an organization can do to achieve equitable social impact. 1, and I'm gonna wait for everyone to get notes. I'm gonna give it a beat, because take notes. There's only 3 things, and we're gonna write them down because they're important. So 1, be honest about your values as a company, and are those values reflective in your partnerships, programs, and leadership? If you recall, Play for Justice is a tangible example of +1's values. So if your organization values community, ask the question, how are you authentically showing up in the community? Number 2, lean in. You cannot connect to something you are not close to. This is the exact reason we take teams inside prisons, because empathy is a derivative of connection. Oh yes, comment. I like the comments. Keep the comments going. Number 3, engage the forgotten fan. Consider this. There are 2 million people incarcerated in the US. There are 130,000 in California alone. We hosted the Sacramento Kings at Folsom State Prison, which has a population of 3,200 people. In one afternoon, the Sacramento Kings created 3,200 legacy fans, and it cost them 10 basketballs and a bus ride. And so let me say it a different way. It cost them nothing to create 3,200 legacy fans. And those in the sports world know what a legacy fan is. That means it's generational. Everyone in that family that knows that person is now a fan of the Sacramento Kings forever. That is invaluable. That you can measure. That you can take to tickets. You can take to merch. You can take to all the things that drive a business. So it's super important to realize that your impact and your investment in impact in communities will benefit the business. Okay, so what am I saying? What am I saying? I'm saying it's going to require more than the 5 people that work in your social responsibility department to achieve sustainable social impact. I'm saying you have to go beyond donating, and keep donating, y'all. It's important, like get the money going, but that's step 1. But it's the same way you can't throw money at a problem, you can't throw it at the community either. So you have to make the commitment to meeting the need until the need is met. In 2017, while I was serving as the chair of the Community Partnerships and Diversity Council at the NFL, I witnessed in the intrinsic needs of people who look like me, both internally and externally. It was then that I made the commitment to use my talents and experience for a purpose greater than myself, greater than a title, greater than a salary, greater than the game. And that commitment was the genesis for Plus One. And it has shaped our values and mission, which has in turn directly impacted the ending of the cash bail system in California. It has accelerated the Wisconsin governor's commitment to criminal justice reform, and that is now on his policy agenda for 2020. Inspiring legislation in Ohio, which will reclassify possession of marijuana from a felony to a misdemeanor, and thereby reducing the prison population by 2,700 people per year, and reducing the state's, and will save the state $75 million per year. So let that sink in. $75 million will be saved in the state of Ohio because of an event that we produced in that state. That's crazy. That's crazy. We have registered over 40,000 minority youth voters in California. We are creating a platform, first of its kind, for legislative efforts in California focused on student loan debt. And we have passed over 20 other bills in the state having to deal with criminal justice reform. So listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is difficult. It's not easy. It takes time. It takes commitment. It takes resources. It takes all the things. And it can be uncomfortable, but it's absolutely necessary and achievable through the will to do the work. And this is why Plus One exists as an agency. We have seen firsthand, maybe more so now than ever, what can be accomplished through unified action. So never forget, corporate responsibility and social impact are a team sport. And the only way to win is together. I want to express my gratitude for everyone who allowed me to be here today to share this message with you all and for your attention. And until we meet again, the class is dismissed. Peace. Thank you, Dave Campbell.